Good afternoon to one and all. We are discussing unit number 4 from last few sessions. So we are still discussing the point number 3. So point number 3 is very crucial, is very important. And in point number 3, we are discussing the logic expression, mapping and minimization, okay, using K-map, that is Karnaugh map. So total up to in your syllabus up to 4 variables K-map are there. So we have seen 2 variable K-map, and we have also seen 3 variable K-map. In 3 variable K-map, we have seen the minimization of sum of product form. Okay, so this we have already seen in the last session. This is 3 variable K-map and mapping of SOP expression. So today we will discuss regarding POS expressions. Okay, so we have already seen a couple of examples of 3 variable K-map, which is given in the SOP form. So everything we have covered in last session. So now we'll start discussion regarding 3 variable K-map and mapping of POS function. Okay, so up till this point you might have understood what are the differences between SOP and POS expressions. The main differences are in SOP and POS expression, whenever the value assigned to a variable is 0, then you have to take complement. Okay, otherwise structure is same. So what is the main difference between SOP and POS? I will just mention one more time that in SOP, okay, just I am trying to write here. In SOP, what you have to remember that whenever value assigned to any variable is 0, then you have to take the complement of that variable. Let's say the variable is A, and vice versa. If A bar is given, then you have to take corresponding value as 0. And if 0 is there, then you have to take the complemented value of that particular variable. Whereas if 1 is present, then you have to take uncomplemented value of that variable. And again vice versa, अगर आपको variable से value निकालना है तो you have to take, for uncomplemented value you have to take 1 in SOP. But now we are discussing POS. Okay, so for POS it will be opposite. Okay, so for POS, if 0 is given, then you have to take the uncomplemented value of variable, that is A, and if 1 is there, that means you have to take complementary value. So this is very important point and you should remember this. Okay, वाइस वर्सा, मतलब जब भी आपको अगर वेरिएबल से वैल्यू निकालना है तो भी, और अगर वैल्यू से वेरिएबल डिनोट करना है तो भी. Okay, so now we are discussing, since we are discussing POS form, so we will not remember this. Okay, just for the sake of removing the confusion, or just to reduce your confusion, just remember like this, that for today's session, whatever we are discussing right now, for that this relation you should remember, that if 0 is there, then corresponding variable will be uncomplemented. Uncomplemented means it is not having bar at the top of it. Okay, and if the value of 1 is there, then you have to take complemented form. Is it fine? So just for the few slides, just remember this, that uncomplemented form is nothing but 0 and complemented form is nothing but 1. So with this much of knowledge, and of course we have already seen the physical structure or the structure of 3 variable K-map. So here you can observe it is 3 variable K-map. One variable is taken here, A, which is always most significant bit, and then remaining 2 we have kept here. So it is nothing but 2 rows and 4 columns are there. Possible values, possible combinations for one variable A, that is 0, 1 here, we have written here. And the possible combinations for BC, you can observe 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. Again, why there is 1 1 earlier and 1 0 next, then I have already discussed this. Why? Because we are required adjacent cells. We are required to combine adjacent cells. Okay. Now, if you observe, then these two cells are adjacent, but these two cells are not adjacent. So that's why we have written 1 1 here and 1 0 here. Okay. So that physical adjacent cells will be nothing but your actual adjacent cells. Okay. So just remember this particular factor here, particular important point it is. That 1 1 we have to write first. And again, these cells are given the values, and these values we have taken from where? You have to observe the corresponding value of variable a. So let's say I want to find out that how I have given the value 3 here. So for 3, for this cell, the value of a is 0, and the value of bc, you can observe for bc it is 1 1. So 0 1 1 becomes 3. Okay. So similarly, you have to solve all the problems related to 3 variable K-map using POS expression. The representation of 3 variable K-map is same in both SOP and POS form. Okay. So representation will be same, but what will change? Min term will become max term, and this complemented, uncomplemented thing will vary. Okay. So now we will see that in 3 variable K-map, obviously total 8 possible combinations will be there. Why 8? Because you have 3 variable K-map, so 2 raised to power 3 will be 8. And these are the max terms, all possible max terms. These max terms are already mentioned in this diagram also. So 0, M0, capital M1, M3, M2, M4, M5, M7 and M6. Okay. So this is regarding 3 variable. This is how your 3 variable K-map will look like, and the max term associated with this 3 variable K-map using POS expression. Okay. Then again, the problems are very important. So very simple problem is there, that you have to map function f equals to, in bracket, a plus b plus c, then again in bracket a bar plus b plus c bar, in bracket another term a bar b bar plus c, a bar plus b bar plus c, and then a bar plus b bar plus c bar, and last bracket, that is last sum term, is nothing but a plus b bar plus c bar. Now whenever such type of function is represented in this type of representation or this type of form, then two things you should understand, that this is 3 variable function. You can observe a, b, c are nothing but 3 variables are used here, and again it is in standard POS form, right? So now for the proceeding, what you have to do now, next step is you have to find out which max terms are present here. So now in order to find out which max terms are present here, what you have to do, you have to assign the values to these variables. And this assignment, just now I have told you that since it is POS form, you have to remember that uncomplemented variable will be taken as 0 and complemented variable will be taken as 1. You can observe A, B, C. So here for all 3 variables, all 3 are uncomplemented. मतलब bar नहीं है at the top of these variables, there is no bar. That means it is uncomplemented form. So all 3 are uncomplemented form, so that's why 0 0 0 will be there. And the decimal equivalent for this binary code is 0. So your first max term is M0. Similarly, you have to find all of them. So here you can observe the complementary form, then uncomplemented form, and then again complementary form. So 101, 101 is nothing but 5, M5. Again here 110, so it is nothing but M6. Similarly M7 and M3. So you have to find out which max terms are actually present in your expression. So we have found out that total 5 max terms are given, and these are nothing but, this can be represented like this, that is pi. What is pi? Pi is nothing but the product of max terms, because it is product of sum. So these are the sum terms and their product is nothing but the function. So how many max terms are present? Total 5. 0, 3, 5, 6, 7. Then you have to draw this structure, draw this K map of for 3 variable. Okay, so initially all cells will be blank. You know the cell suffix. Okay, so this cell is nothing but 0, 1, 3, 2. Again remember that 3 is earlier than 2. Again 4, 5, 7, 6. Also remember this 7 is earlier than 6. Okay. So after this much, you have to just now map this function on this Karnaugh map. How will you map that? You have to simply put zeros. Okay, since it is POS form, you have to put zeros here. If it was अगर आपका ये SOP होता, SOP expression होता, तो आपको you have to put 1, right? But since we are discussing product of sum, you have to put 0. So you can observe here I have put 0 for the max term, which is equals to 0, max term 3, max term 5, 7 and 6. Okay, so total 5 zeros I have put. Remaining these cells you can either put it as 1. Okay, either you can put it as 1, or you can simply left it as a blank, no problem, because we are not interested in 1 now, we are interested in zeros. In SOP form we are interested in ones, but in POS form we are interested in zeros. Okay, is it understood up to this particular point? The differences you should know that about POS and SOP में actual में करना क्या, and it will get eventually clear to you, don't worry about it. जितने ज़्यादा आप problem solve करोगे, you will get to know what are the differences, and you will understand everything. Initially there will be some confusion, but as you practice at your home it will get clear. So again, the same procedure we have already seen in the SOP form. So procedure will be the same. What is the procedure you have to follow for the reduction problem or minimization problem? First is you have to plot the K-map and place zeros corresponding to max term of POS expression. So first you have to map your function on K-map. You have to put 0, 0, 0 for those max terms which are present in the function output. Okay. Then after putting that, you have to check for, first you have to check for whether quad is possible or octet is possible. So quad is nothing but the combination of 4 cells, adjacent 4 cells, जहाँ पे 0 है present. Okay. So quad is nothing but 4 cells having 0 value, and octet is nothing but 8 cells of adjacent zeros. So if there is a quad or octet, then first एक तो सबसे पहले octet check करो, अगर octet नहीं है तो then go for the quad. अगर quad नहीं है तो you should go for the pairs. Pairs are nothing but 2 cells. और अगर pair भी नहीं है तो individually term बचेगी, and that individual term will be called as isolated max term. And for that term, reduction is not possible. Okay. So you have to identify whether quad is possible, octet is possible, pair is possible, and then isolated terms you have to identify. So once you identify all these three, then you have to minimize the expression, and finally you have to write it in the form of multiplication of sum terms. So this is the general procedure for while solving the problems based on reduction of using K-map of POS expression. Okay, so we will straightly move towards the example. So the process you have to understand. The number of examples can be there. Okay, you can solve, but you can just take any of max terms and you can solve your own. तो आप कितने भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, there is nothing hard in it, but the combination you should understand. तो कॉम्बिनेशन करते टाइम सबसे पहले यू हैव टू गो फॉर द ऑक्टेट. अगर ऑक्टेट होगा पॉसिबल तो पहले ऑक्टेट करो, बाद में क्वाड, देन सी इफ पेयरिंग इज पॉसिबल. एंड व्हाइल पेयरिंग ऑल्सो, अगर आपके सेल एक हाथ सेल अगर क्वाड में ऑलरेडी जा चुका है, राइट, बट अदर सेल इज नॉट इन द क्वाड, देन ओनली गो फॉर द पेयरिंग. है ना, पेयरिंग में, इन पेयरिंग देयर विल बी टू सेल्स. Okay, so if one of the cell is already in the quad but other cell is not included in the quad, then you have to go for the pairing. If both cells are already included in the quad, then there is no need to go for the pairing. Right, I will just explain this example and it will be clear to you what I am talking about. Okay, so example is you have to reduce the expression f equals to product of max terms, and these max terms are present in your function 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Using K-map you have to reduce. Okay. So now first thing is you have to map. Mapping is the first term. First thing. First you have to do mapping and then you have to do minimization. So again for mapping we know that three variable K-map will be drawn like this. So you have to draw this structure of cells. You have to give them corresponding name. पहले ही ऐसे अपर कॉर्नर पे ऐसे यहाँ पे मैक्स टर्म की वैल्यू पुट करके रख देना है. ऑलवेज डू दैट, इट इज़ अ गुड प्रैक्टिस. ओके, और अगर कंफ्यूजन है तो हाउ विल यू चेक दैट? यू हैव टू फर्स्ट कलेक्ट दिस. ए इज योर एमएसबी, देन यू हैव टू कलेक्ट बीसी कोड, है ना. सो सपोज ये यहाँ पे क्या है, सपोज 7 पे आप कंफ्यूज हो गए, सो हाउ विल यू कंफर्म दैट, हाउ विल यू वेरीफाई? So simply for this cell you have to observe this value, that is 1, and then you have to observe these two values, that is BC. But always remember A should be taken first because A is your MSB, most significant bit. So then you can understand from this binary code that it is nothing but the equivalent of 7. So this is how you can remember this thing. Now you can observe here I have done simple mapping. So 0, 1, 2, 3. You can observe 0, 1, 2, 3. I have put 0 here. All zeros I have put here. Then 4, 7 also in cell number 4 and cell number 7. Okay, so this is nothing but the mapping. Now first step is mapping. Then you have to go for the minimization. So now tell me, is there any octet possible? For octet to be possible, all these cells should have 0. है ना, 8 ही सेल है आपके पास, तो आठों सेल में अगर 0 रहता तो ऑक्टेट पॉसिबल था, बट हियर 2 सेल्स आर ब्लैंक, दैट्स व्हाई ऑक्टेट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. ओके, देन क्वाड इज पॉसिबल. इज क्वाड इज पॉसिबल, क्वाड पॉसिबल है क्या यहाँ पे? देन यू कैन ऑब्जर्व दैट दिस 4 zeros आर देयर. ओके, these all are adjacent zeros, so you can just take the combination of all these fours first. है ना, एडजेसेंट जीरो है ना सब, तो आप इन चारों को यू कैन टेक द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ दिस फोर टर्म्स. So these max terms are nothing but 0, 1, 3, 2. Okay, so same thing I have explained here. A quad of four adjacent zeros can be combined by wrapping max terms. You can observe here these max terms. By wrapping these many or by combining these max terms, you can make a quad of four adjacent zeros. So now along this quad, now next thing, okay, आपने combination कर लिया. Then you have to go observe that which variable is actually varying along the that particular combination. So if I observe these four, so now tell me which variable is varying. Just observe this. The value of A is same for all four cells. For all four cells, the value of A is constant. So A is constant. What about B, C? B, you can observe B is 0, 0, 1, 1. So again, B is covering both values. B is changing. C is also changing. So that means A is constant and B, C both are changing. And I already told you in the last session that whenever there will be a quad, then two variables will be eliminated. If there is an octet, then three variables will be eliminated, and if there is a pair, then one variable will be eliminated. And which variables will be eliminated? Those variables which are not constant, that means which are changing. Okay, so along this quad, variables B, C are changing from 0 to 1, but A has constant value of 0. Thus, variables B, C will be eliminated and A with the value will be read as A. है ना? Why? Because we are discussing POS. POS में क्या होता है? Uncomplimented variable you have to write it as 0. अगर SOP होता तो you would have written 1 here. Okay? Or you would have written for 0 you would have written A bar here. But for POS, always remember this pairing, that uncomplimented variable will be equivalent to 0 and complemented variable will be equivalent to 1. Okay. So now, okay, so we are done with one combination of one quad. So ये चार zeros we have covered, and for this combination you have also got one term also, that is only A. Now, but you have to cover all zeros. Okay, so out of these six zeros which were in the function, two are again remaining. Okay, so again for this cell, for maxterm 4, for cell 4, cell 0 is nothing but adjacent cell. Similarly for 7, 3 is adjacent cell. So now you have to make pair of these two cells and these two cells. Okay, so now since you are making pair, one variable will be eliminated in both the terms. So in this particular example, one quad and two pairs are possible. So that means in your variable, in your function, minimized function, total three variables will be there. Total three terms will be there. Sorry, total three terms will be there. तीन टर्म कैसे? एक आपके क्वाड का टर्म आएगा, दैट इज ए, वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन दैट. दूसरा टर्म आएगा फ्रॉम दिस पेयर एंड तीसरा टर्म आएगा फ्रॉम दिस पेयर. Right. So I got one question that cell number 1 and 3, is it possible to pair cell number 1 and 3? Okay, so the question is like this, the doubt is like this, that can we pair these two cells? So that's what I have told you at the starting of this lecture, that suppose in that particular pair, you have to observe that in pair there will be two cells, right? So if both cells are already included in quad, these both cells are already included in quad, so there is no need for the pairing. But on the other hand you can observe this cell, है ना, ये पेयर, ये अगर आप ये पेयर ऑब्जर्व करोगे तो then only one zero is included in this quad, and this zero was not included in this quad, so that's why we have done this pairing. Okay, right. So here also we have done the same. So again, remember this, that while pairing, if that both cells are already included in quad or that both cells are already included in octet, है ना, मतलब लार्जर स्क्वायर में अगर वो ऑलरेडी इंक्लूड है तो देर इज नो पॉइंट टू मेक देम पेयर अगेन. ओके, राइट. So you can observe here I have already given this different combinations. So this red one, red rectangle, is nothing but quad, and the corresponding variable is associated with is A, because BC will be eliminated. Then a pair of adjacent zeros can be combined by wrapping max terms M4 and M0. So you can observe M4 and M0 we have combined here by blue rectangle, M4 and M0, right? So along this combination you can observe that A, the value of A is changing, but BC is constant. Okay, so same thing I have explained here, that along this pair the variable A is changing from 0 to 1, but B and C have constant value of 0 0 respectively. You can observe here 0 0 for both cells. BC is constant, and anyway for a pair, whenever there is a pair, only one variable will be eliminated. So here A will be eliminated, variable A will be eliminated, and BC with the value 0 0. Now again BC की वैल्यू क्या है, 0 0. We are in the product of some expression, so that's why 0 will be nothing but uncomplemented variable. Here also 0 is nothing but uncomplemented variable, and you have to write it in the summation form, the sum of two variables. Okay, similarly third point, that a pair of adjacent ones can be combined by wrapping cells. Now here M3 and M7, so this gray rectangle, M3 and M7 we have combined, and corresponding term we have found out that B bar C bar. Why B bar C bar? Because you can observe that the BC was constant for both cells, but A was varying, so that's why A was eliminated, and the corresponding term BC. So since both the values of B and C were 1, so what you have done, the 1 is nothing but complementary variable in POS. Okay, so hence this term is there. So finally, okay, now we can observe that all zeros are already covered either in pair or in quad, and there is no isolated max terms present here, है ना. तो सारे एक तो पेयर में आपके कवर हो गए जीरो, या फिर क्वाड में ऑलरेडी कवर हो गए. तो फाइनल रिड्यूस्ड फॉर्म क्या होगा, इट विल बी द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ ऑल दिस थ्री टर्म्स. This is first, sorry, first one was A. I'll just go back. So this was your first term A. It is associated with your quad. Okay. So by combination of quad, you have eliminated two variables and you are just left with A. So A is written here, you can observe. Then second B plus C. Then A multiplied by B plus C, and again B bar plus C bar. Okay. So this is regarding the POS expression for three variable K-map. Again you can solve number of examples, so that is depending on you. If you understood the concept, then well and good, otherwise just again keep repeating, keep practicing, and you will surely be perfect in this particular K-map. Alright. So now we will straightly move towards our 4 variable K-map. So until now we have seen 2 variable K-map, and in 2 variable K-map again SOP POS, then 3 variable K-map. In 3 variable K-map we have seen SOP and POS representation. Now the last topic of this particular subtopic, that was minimization using K-map, that is 4 variable K-map. Okay, तो ये last आपका सब topic है in this topic. So now again you can observe here that what are the changes here. So since in 4 variable there will be 4 variables, so total possible combinations of either max term or min term. Since we are now discussing SOP form, okay, again we are discussing SOP form, so that means here there will be min term present. Min term are denoted by small m's. Okay, total 16 possible combinations are there. Why? Because since 4 variables, the total will be total max term or total min term or total possible combination nothing but 2 raised to power 4, that is 16. Alright. So now how is this particular K-map has been arranged? Then you can observe that 2 variables A, B is taken here and C, D is again taken here. So values associated with A, B. So since it is 2 variable A, B, so total maximum possible combinations will be 4. Similarly, C, D 2 variable के लिए possible combinations are here 4. And again, always whenever there is 4 combinations, so this 4 will be in this manner: 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. Why we have done this? Again, I am repeating this. This has been done so that these two जो आपको दिख रहे हैं adjacent cells, है ना, जैसे इस सेल, सपोज सेल नंबर 12 के लिए कितने एडजेसेंट सेल्स है, ये वाला एडजेसेंट सेल्स है, दिस टू आर एडजेसेंट सेल्स अगेन दिस, मतलब फॉर सेल 12, सेल 4, सेल 8 and cell 13, these three are adjacent cells. Okay, so what we have achieved by this combination, actually by writing 1 1 earlier than 1 0, then the physical adjacent cells are nothing but your actual adjacent cells. ओके, वैसे एडजेसेंट सेल्स की डेफिनेशन क्या है कि ऐसे सेल्स जहाँ पे ओनली वन वेरिएबल इज चेंजिंग, द वैल्यू ऑफ ओनली वन वेरिएबल इज चेंजिंग. ओके, so that's why we have done this arrangement. So keep in this mind this structure, you should again keep this in mind. Now this structure will be the same for SOP and POS. ओके, ए बी यहाँ पे है, अगेन एसोसिएटेड वैल्यू. तो जस्ट रिमेंबर लाइक दिस. अगर आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है हाउ टू डिनोट द सेल्स, ओके, so how to denote this cell, so you can observe here. So these two rows are nothing but exactly similar to your 3 variable K map: 0 1 3 2, then 4 5 7 6. But now here it is, this cell is nothing but 12. So how this 12 arrive here, how the value of this cell becomes 12? So for that you have to first collect the values of AB. Values of AB are nothing but 1 1, because A is always, remember, A will be your most significant bit, so you have to write the value of A first. Okay, then the value of CD for this cell is 0 0. So 1 1 के बाद you have to write 0 0. And what is this code? Decimal equivalent of this code is nothing but 12. Okay, so hence this cell is nothing but it is 12. Similarly, you can check for all these things. So suppose I want to find out the which is the min term associated with this cell. So for that, what I have to do? I have to first collect this AB values 1 0, okay, and then I have to collect CD values. CD value is nothing but 0 0 1. So this is the decimal equivalence to 9. Okay. So likewise, you can either remember it or you can simply remember this structure also. तो ये यहाँ पे मेजर चेंज है, ये आप देख लो। ये तो जनरली आप कैसे जाएंगे कि 7 यहाँ पे हो गए, देन यहाँ से 8 9 10 11। इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट, ओके। एंड वाई दिस चेंज हैज़ बीन डन, बिकॉज यहाँ पे 1 1 लिया ना आपने, अगर 1 0 लेते तो फिर वैसे ही रहता। जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस चेंजेस। If you are having any doubt in this particular slide, you can ask me. Just wait couple of minutes here. Just go through this all these cells, the values of min terms. Again, you can observe for min terms M0 is nothing but the term associated with is A bar, B bar, C bar, D bar. Why? Because here A, B, C, D, the values of A, B, C, D are 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Just before some time, we have seen the POS. In POS, what we have done, 0 is nothing but uncomplimented variable, है ना। अभी कुछ टाइम पहले we have seen, but now this is SOP. So in SOP, 0 will be complemented form. 0 will indicate complemented variable, or vice versa, means complemented variable is there. If there is complemented variable, then you have to assign the value associated with is 0, and if 1 is there, then you have to take uncomplimented variable. So I purposefully kept this our discussion alternately, SOP POS, SOP POS, so that you will be able to understand these things. Okay, so just go through this slide, observe this slide, then we will start with the next slide. Just wait here for a few minutes. Okay, so now we will again try to solve couple of examples, because while solving examples only, it will be clear to you. So this is your first example. The example is like this, that you have to reduce this expression. This is the given expression. You can observe that expression is small m is used. That means in your example, the function, in your function, small m is nothing but corresponding to min term. So this much min terms are present, and from this min term, the value of min term, you can understand that this will be 4 variable function, right? Because for 4 variable function, total min terms will be from 0 to 15. Yeah. So from you can observe that this is in sum of product form, because min term is there, small m is there, and again it is 4 variable. So for that, again you have to draw 4 variable k map here. Just now we have seen the physical structure for 4 variable k map. AB will be here, CD will be here. The values associated with AB, you can observe 0 0 0 1 1 1 and 1 0. Similarly, values associated with CD will be 0 0 0 1 1 1 and 1 0. Now you have to do mapping. So before minimization, you have to do mapping. So for mapping, you have to just simply put ones. Why ones? Now we are observing SOP. POS may you have to put 0, right? So you can observe these differences. So now since it is SOP, you have to put ones here for these min terms. So you can observe I have done the same. I have put 1 1 1 1. Okay. So total 9 min terms are present. You can count here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So I have put 9 ones here. The remaining cells either you can put 0 or you can left it blank. Okay. So here I have just kept it blank because अगर 0 यहाँ पे लिख लिया तो आप again confuse हो जाओगे. So I have just completed the mapping of this function on the K map. Now you have to go for the combinations, and this is very crucial part. So how will you combine these many ones? So always remember you have to combine ones only. Left जो cells में कुछ भी नहीं है, blank cells, you should not worry about blank cells. Okay. So now first thing you have to go for the octet. Whether octet is possible. 8 ones है क्या? अब यहाँ पे 4 है लेकिन यहाँ पे 3 ही है. अगर यहाँ पे 1 होता तो ये octet बन जाता, right? But it is not the case, so octet is not possible. Is there any quad possible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please tell me. कौन सा है quad? Just आप सेल के values बताओ.
3, 3, 3, 2, 7, 6.
3, 2, 7, 6. Yes, one quad is this. Very good. Again, how will you do the
6,
combination?
15, 10.
2, 6, 14, 10.
Yes, yes. Again, this is your second quad. Very good. Okay. So now again, दो quad तो
2, 11, 11, 10. This is possible, sir, or not?
which one?
11, 10, 2, 3. It is possible or not?
11, 10, 2 and 3.
Uh,
Yes, yes. It is actually very good because it is actually possible. This like this. You see, these two cells are there and these two cells you can combine. So this is another third quad. Okay, very good. So these three quads are possible here. And now remaining two cells or two ones are these two ones are remaining. So how will you deal with it? ये तो सारे ones cover हो गए अभी 3 quad में. Okay, so all these 7 ones are already combined in 3 quads, but what about these two ones? So if you observe about this one, so this one has no adjacent cells. You can observe either there or either. So you can observe that it has no adjacent cell at all. So you cannot do anything about it. So this minterm will be as it is. Okay. So this minterm is nothing but 1 1 0 1, right? So you have to simply write the associated minterm. So what is associated minterm? So 1 1 1 is nothing but, since it is SOP, you have to write uncomplemented form. So A, B, C bar and D. So this term is associated with this one. It will be as it is. But here 1 is there. So you can form a pair for this one and this corner one. Corner में हमेशा ध्यान में रखना. ठीक है. So these two will form one pair. Okay, so total 3 quads, one pair, and one individual term or one isolated term. So total 5 terms will be there in your minimized expression or in your reduced expression. ओके, 3 क्वाड के 3 टर्म आएंगे, उसके बाद में एक पेयर का टर्म, एंड देन ये लास्ट वाला इंडिविजुअल टर्म, दिस टर्म. So I have already written here that's about individual term, that a minterm M13 has no adjacent cells and hence it cannot form any pair or quad, neither octet. Okay, thus it will remain as it is. So for the values a equals to 1, b equals to 1, c equals to 0, and d equals to 1, so your term becomes a, b, c bar, d bar. You can observe here same term I have written. Okay, so about isolated term, we have already taken care of isolated terms. So we'll just go to the next slide. So here you can observe I have denoted all the quads. So one quad is nothing but this green color quad. Okay, then there is a red color quad. Then this quad is important, blue. So it is actually open ended from this side, and again these two cells are taken from upward cells and downward cells. So these 3 quads are there. This term is isolated term, and this one, it is a pair. Okay, so we have already discussed about the isolated term. So we will quickly move towards other terms. How will you collect other terms? So a quad of adjacent ones can be combined by wrapping M2, M6, M14 and M10. So here it is talking about a red rectangle. Okay, so red rectangle. Now along this red rectangle, if you observe along this combination, the values of A and B are varying. You can observe for this combination, A की वैल्यू भी चेंज हो रही है 0011 और B की भी 011. So that's why variables A and B are changing, but the value of CD is constant. CD की वैल्यू constant है for all these 4 cells. So that's why again it is quad. So I have already told you that in quad 2 variables will be eliminated. So which variables will be eliminated? The variables which are having changing values, which values are changing. So you can observe here variables A, B will be eliminated, and C, D are constant with the values 1, 0. So C is 1, so hence we have written uncomplemented form, and D is 0, so we have written complemented form. So this is the term associated with this red rectangle. Okay, similarly you have to discuss for another. So now again third point, so a quad of adjacent ones can be combined. So I have kept the structure similar. Okay, you might have observed that these structures are already similar. What you are describing here, that in this description is very important. again आपको प्रॉब्लम में वही बताना है, क्योंकि आप के मैप निकालोगे वहाँ पे स्क्वायर स्क्वायर करोगे, लेकिन समझने वाले को आपको बताना भी है सामने वाले को कि आपने वो स्क्वायर का मतलब क्या है, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दैट स्क्वायर. सो फॉर दैट दीज पॉइंट्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. You have to write these points. Then again you can observe here a quad, next quad is formed by M2, M3, M6 and M7. So I will again move back. So it is he is talking about, now point number 3 is talking about a green quad. Okay, green colored quad. So for this green colored quad you can observe, if I observe these two values, then the value of A is constant 0 0, right, but the value of B is changing. Now again if I observe the code associated with CD, then the value of C is constant, that is 1 1, but the value of D is changing. Okay, so A and C are constant for this rectangle. A and C are constant, A की value 0 और C की value 1. Okay, so same thing I have already explained here, that for that quad BD are changing but the AC value are constant and their values are 0 1. So the value of A is 0, so hence A bar is there, and the value of C is 1, so hence C. So since it is SOP, this term will be in product form, and then you have to take the summation of all these terms. So again the remaining thing also you can just go through them. Okay, so next quad again M2, M3, M10 and M11. So I will just show you. So that quad is nothing but this blue color quad, M2, M3, M10 and M11. Okay, so just kindly go through this PPT. I will again forward it to you, and I hope from your replies I understood that you are getting this. Okay, so you are following now. Initially it was confusing, but now you are able to grasp it. Okay, so there is one more example here. Again you can try to solve it. So again, but just I will just tell you what are the possible combinations. अभी इस एग्जांपल में देख लो, मैंने मैपिंग वगैरह कर लिया. जस्ट टेल मी व्हाट आर द, हाउ विल यू गो. ऑक्टेट पॉसिबल है क्या, क्वाड कितने पॉसिबल है, पेयरिंग कैसे करोगे. यू कैन ट्राई.
Not possible, sir.
Yes, octet is not possible. Okay.
And chord is 12 comma 13 comma 8 comma 9, and second chord is 0 comma 1 comma 8 comma 9.
0 comma 8.
1
And 3 5 13 9.
ये वाला अपवर्ड और डाउनवर्ड वाला.
हाँ,
ओके, ये
0
दूसरा.
comma 1 comma 8 comma 9.
0, 3,
1
2.
5 13 9.
सर ये 2
1
comma
3
10
5
comma
7.
0 comma 8 पॉसिबल हो गया.
ओके, सो ये ओके ओके, सो आई गॉट ऑल द आंसर्स. सो एक ये है पॉसिबल और एक ये है
1
possible.
comma.
Okay, so 4 quads are possible. Now, what about these two? These two
Sir,
ones.
1 3 5
So
7.
1357.
1 3 5 7. 1 3 5. Okay, so ये जो remaining था वो भी आपने quad में ले लिया. 1 3 5 7. Very good. And what about this now? एक ही रह गया आपका, बाकी तो सारे आ गए. इसका क्या करोगे?
10, 8. 10, 8.
Okay, so here again one important combination again you should remember. अभी तो आपको सब आ गया, बट अगेन अगर आप ऑब्जर्व करोगे तो ये कॉर्नर, दिस ऑल द कॉर्नर्स ऑफ दिस स्क्वायर.
10 comma 2 comma 0 comma 8. Yes, sir.
हाँ, so all these corners are nothing but you can also form these all corners. If you observe, these are nothing but adjacent, so इसका भी आप quad बना सकते हो. Okay, so you can observe here. So एक्चुअल में आपने जो किए थे वो कितने हो गए थे, 4 क्वाड. अब तो आपको क्या करना है, ऑलवेज रिमेंबर मिनिमम क्वाड बनाने. राइट, व्हाई मिनिमम? बिकॉज one term will be there for one quad obviously, है ना. अगर आप 4 5 क्वाड बनाओगे और तो क्या होगा, 4 5 टर्म आएगी. तो यहाँ पे यू कैन ऑब्जर्व ऑल वंस आर कवर्ड इन जस्ट 3 क्वाड्स. एक ये क्वाड बना दिया, दूसरा ये, और तीसरा ये. यू कैन ऑब्जर्व दिस ब्लू, ऑल कॉर्नर सेल्स. ओके, so we want minimized expression, always remember. So minimum combination should be there. Okay. Again, you can go through this particular problem. I will just forward this PPT and just now for 4 variable K map, a POS expression is remaining only. So we will see that in the next session. So that's it for the day. If you are having any difficulty, any doubt, query, then you can ask me. Otherwise, we will conclude our session here. So thank you.